Zephaniah 3, verse 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Raven Stone. Shalom to the elect wishing this word in truth and in sincerity, with the hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahawashi is the name of His only begotten Son. The so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written into the scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is the Karak Marine about in Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, which is the MOTB. The miracle jug is the precursor to the MOTB. Yahawashi, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment, as it is written. And one of the signs of Yahawashi's return is you seeing these conflicts being stirred up right around the world. One day it's over there in the landmass of Ham, which I refer to as Africa, Somalia, Egypt, Libya, Ethiopia. Then the next minute it's the so-called landmass of Israel against Palestine, against Iran, against Syria. Now it's Russia against Ukraine, that's just a proxy war, because Ukraine is fighting on the behalf of NATO right now. When you look, you have tension being stirred up over there in the South China Sea between China and the US. And a lot of people seeing these happenings taking place around the world, but they can't put the pieces to the puzzle together, to come to the conclusion that we're in the time of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, visiting the earth. Now, one of these things were declared unto the servants of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, by the Lord Yahawashi himself. So I want to jump into this clip and see what's going on.
Arabia now, which is raising an alarm. Disturbing reports have emerged. Riyadh has reason to believe that the kingdom could be attacked. Saudi officials allegedly have credible intelligence. It says an attack by Iran is imminent, and Riyadh's energy infrastructure could be targeted. Saudi Arabia has shared the details with the United States. But considering the frosty ties between Washington and Riyadh, will the US intervene? Here's a detailed report.
Saudi Arabia is on high alert. Riyadh has reason to believe Iran could wage an attack. Even the United States finds these allegations credible.
We're concerned about the threat picture. We are in constant contact through military, diplomatic, intelligence channels with the Saudis, and we won't hesitate to act in defense of our interests and our partners in the region.
What is Riyadh worried about? Officially, Saudi Arabia hasn't revealed the specifics, but some reports have emerged. They say Riyadh has credible information about Iran's plans. Saudi Arabia and Erbil in Iraq are the possible targets. The attacks could happen within 48 hours. Reports quoting Saudi officials say they are supposed to serve as a distraction and turn the attention away from the civil unrest in Iran. Since September, Iranians have taken to the streets in large numbers against the regime. Tehran has been blaming foreign powers for the uprising at home. Iranian officials have publicly accused Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the US of instigating the demonstrations. Hossein Salami, the commander-in-chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, issued a threat last week.
Do not think that Biden must call you and tell you to take to the streets, or Dempsey, or McKinsey, or Benny Gantz, or Lapid for that matter, or Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who diced up the corpse of that journalist and dissolved it in acid. These people will not call you directly. They will use their media to force you to stand against your people and society and fighters.
And to someone listen and I say, how is this possible? You know, if US, Saudi Arabia, Israel have the power to manipulate your people to rise up against you. Alright, take a look over there in Libya and see what happened to Gaddafi. But this is just Yahweh Bashim Yahushua stirring up conflict in the earth, yo. And what will come with that conflict is famine and civil unrest to follow. So that's just what's taking place over there in the Middle East. So let's see what's going on in North Korea now. Alright, so let's go. Here we go.
Our top focus tonight comes from the Korean Peninsula. The region has been in the news for weeks now, thanks to North Korea's repeated missile launches. Today was a day of fresh escalation. North Korea has fired over 20 missiles, 23 to be precise. South Korea responded, it fired 3 missiles, but that's just one part of the story. What is brewing behind the scenes? Why is North Korea upping the ante and why now? What is the trigger for this fresh escalation in the tensions? That is our top focus. What you just saw was unprecedented. South Koreans on the island of Uleong woke up to an air raid alert today because North Korea fired a flurry of missiles. Not one, not two, but at least 23 missiles were launched. 17 in the morning and 6 in the afternoon. And that was not all. Pyongyang fired about 100 artillery shells as well. This escalation forced South Korea to respond, and Seoul dispatched fighter jets. And they fired missiles as well.
So let's jump back into the scriptures. Because the Lord said this is determination. But listen what the Lord said unto the Gentiles. This is Joel 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, which are the other nations. Prepare ye war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshare into swords, and your pruning hook into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And this is a perfect example, yo. This is a perfect example. How much missile? Them fire in the morning, 17 and 6 in the afternoon. What them a prepare for you? Them not even know so them a prepare for World War III, yo. And that is to come. Because them could even do it as deterrent, showing their capabilities. But as the scripture tell us, what is the Lord's determination, In Revelation, the scripture mentioned 3 woes, and 2 of the woe already passed, which is World War One and World War II. World War III is coming, But before that great war, the Lord I will give Esau his opportunity to push this system, which is the mark of the beast system, which is going to require you to receive a MOTB, which is the RFID microchip. Whether you believe it, yes or no, which is going to be a new identity in that system, which is going to allow the government to track and monitor everything. And these are the times that we're in. So right now, you see, the tensions being stirred up right around the world. You can't check nowhere on the map right now. And you see conflict. You look over there with Armenia there. The war over land. But it's just the times that we're in, So let's continue. The scripture says, let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathens, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cast thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up. And this is what the Lord will do, The Lord will wake up the heathens. And come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which means Yahweh judge. For there will I sit to judge all the heathens round about. So the Lord I will judge these heathens for all of them do to the apple of his eyes. So going back to this clip.
Such an exchange has not happened since Korea was divided. What does this mean for the region? That is our cover story tonight. So here's what happened today. North Korea fired several short-range missiles. One of them landed less than 60 kilometers off the city of Sokcho. And this was dangerously close to the Ulleungdo Island. This is South Korean territory. It set off air raid sirens. Some 9,000 people live there, and the residents were asked to rush to underground shelters. No one was hurt. But why does this matter? Because the North breached the northern limit line. This is the de facto border between the North and the South. It was drawn by the United Nations at the end of the Korean War. The North Korean missile breached this border. South Korea sees today's events as a serious provocation. Its president Yoon Suk Yeol called it a territorial invasion.
So, as I say, people see these things but don't know what the sign mean, Them just feel like this is just another happening on the earth. But no. This is a sign of Yahweh's return. This is Matthew 24 verse 3. And as he sat upon the mount of the Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So jumping to the point, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. So right now, a lot of people bug out by what's taking place around the world overall. With the shortage of food, You see me? The things them that are being reported on the news, a lot of people that don't even want to watch news, yo. Because you have a lot of judgment being poured out right now. But the Lord said, be ye not troubled, yo. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And one of the main reasons why the destruction in Asia take place is what? Because the chip will start get mandatory as yet, you know, but it is coming. The framework is here. Verse 7, for a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine, and pestilence, and earthquake in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So people read the scriptures in Matthew 24 verse 7 and say famines, pestilence, and earthquake in diverse places. But them don't understand what that going to do to the state of the earth. But I'm going to paint the picture for you, because in the same precept, it said in verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So let's see, let's get a vivid picture from the beginning of sorrows described by Ezra. So so this is 2 Ezra 16 verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death. And remember, I want to say Ezekiel chapter 2, when Ezekiel received the book, what Ezekiel declared that is in the book: lamentations, mourning, and woe, yo. And that's what's coming. The book of prophecy is manifesting right now before our eyes, yo. To all these people who declare that God no exists, the Lord are going to show how great He is, yo. The Lord left a book and depict what's going to take place here and give us the script. Because this is the Lord's movie, yo. And this is His determination. So it's the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of what? Wars. That's why you hear a lot of conflict being stirred up right now. A lot of people choosing sides. And the powers shall stand in fear, which are the rulers, yo, the leaders. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? That's why the Lord tell us from now, yo. So we're supposed to redeem the times, because the days are evil, yo. We're supposed to watch and be sober. You see me? So now is the time to draw nigh unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And I hope this was edifying, yo. We don't want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodesh. Shalom.